Hello, everybody. I am Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Gossip Girl, Season 1, Episode 5, Daredevil. I guess that's a movie.
It's a show, it's a play on words.
Uh-huh. Let's go ahead and start with Dan and Serena.
Okay.
Dan is the worst.
Yeah.
He's just so...
He's doing the most.
He's taking Serena out on a date. She assumes, stupidly, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's going to be just a regular, like...
Well, I don't think she assumes it stupidly. He stupidly assumes that all she wants to do is go to a fancy restaurant where the median age of everybody is 65.
He's like, I got to impress Serena. It goes to show you how little they actually do know each other.
Yeah, with his bag of nickels.
The Humphrey performative masculinity.
Yeah.
That's more a sign of the times than it is an indictment on their characters, but
Can be two things.
So he is peacocking around, and I literally wrote, because he goes to pick up Serena, he judges both Serena and Lily no less than 5 times in 3 minutes.
For sure.
I forgot how, because you could accuse Lily of being mean to him, but I'm like, they are...
Yeah, they're
evenly matched.
They're coming at each other like this. But he does, it's like, to Serena, he's like, this is a really nice place where you live with 800 other people. And I'm like, bitch, she lives in a hotel. She wins this game.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, poor.
Yeah.
Like, it just, and so he goes to this, like, and because that's the thing, is it's like, he seems to not understand there's a difference between, like, he picks a stuffy, rich restaurant.
Yeah.
And that's a different kind of wealthy than what he's dealing with.
Well, yeah, it's the same level of wealth, but it's a different vibe of wealth. Like, that's not the type of people
like she's gonna go to like a hip place, like a trendy restaurant, like a Real Housewives restaurant, not like I don't know. And we have the quintessential snooty waiter. The whole thing is just kind of a mess. And actually, so it is fun revisiting this. I forgot just how actually good the show is. Yeah. Somehow, I remember we loved it, like, in theme and tone, but I was just focusing on the, like, middle seasons where they start to meander a little bit.
Sure.
Like, that's what I was recalling. Yeah. I forget how actually
like, season 1 and 2 and 3, I think, are all, like, pretty great.
And I also, like, because we kind of lose Serena a little bit. Like, I think she's, as I recall, the most interesting in season 1. Mm-hmm. And I forget how much of that is actually Blake Lively.
Yeah.
That Serena actually handles this situation so well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because she's dealing with a wounded male ego. Like,
and then she pays for it on top of that.
But no, that's what I mean. But she does it very subtly, and she kind of lets this thing play out. Mm-hmm. And then she's just the way in which she's able to not, like, spook or enrage him.
Yeah.
Because it's like, again, we could go...
so many ways.
This could go dark. Like...
But especially because he's like, I have the money to pay for it. And it's like,
and she's like, I think that's great. Well,
so he doesn't. And that was a bag of quarters. There's not enough money to buy Muscovy duck in a bag of quarters. And so she's like, I'm sure that you do, but you shouldn't have to spend it on this. And he's already also rented a limo.
Ew.
In New York City, take the fucking subway. Get out of here.
Well, but and I actually don't remember how the show handles it, but I feel like limousines are one of those things that poor people think rich people do, where it's like there's a handful of occasions for a limo,
but it's generally like
town cars.
A town car, exactly. Like, you just have a driver who has like a normal
nice car
and drives you around, and like,
so yeah,
limos are for when you're like trying to flex.
Or like an event, or like like a lot of people, a limo makes sense.
Sure.
But 2 people going on a first date. Mm-hmm. Like, we rented a limo for, like, my friend Juliana's 11th birthday and went to go see Disney on Ice.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
11 is young, but...
Might have been 12, regardless.
Still young.
She looked like Leanne Rimes. Like, at the time, and so we were joking that everyone thought we were famous.
Oh, okay.
Because, again, what poor people think rich people do. So they end up meeting up with, everybody collides. The show does that a lot, and it's always good.
It is
It's always fun to have.
When everybody collides, it's great. Also, Nate and Chuck sit this episode out, which I had sort of forgotten.
I think
Yeah.
is fine.
Yeah.
He's helping his dad close up the yachts.
Whatever.
They almost didn't even need to address it.
Yeah.
But so we have,
I guess that's like why Blair is having her sleepover, but
so we have, it's soiree.
My bad. Whatever.
We have Blair's annual soiree that she's been doing. There's times this doesn't feel that long ago, and there's times where it does, because she's been doing it every year since the year 2000. In the year 2000.
7 years up to this point. Yeah.
Well, would it start when they were 5? Like,
well, if they're 17, it started when they were 10.
Okay.
They're almost 17. They're 16. So
well, they say it several times. Jenny's 14 and they're 16.
They really do hit the 14 hard in this episode when they're in the club with the stockbrokers, which, by the way, those adult men should know that those girls are children, especially Jenny.
Yes, but it's the year 2007.
Adult men are garbage.
Yeah, that was that, as evidenced by how lightly the show takes it. That was far more common.
Yeah.
So, since Serena can't go, and Serena and Blair are on good terms now, and Serena, Blair, and Dan are on good terms now, which is always, I think, fun.
I think it's more fun when because like Blair and Dan always have sort of an antagonistic thing anyway, like a teasing thing anyway. But when the three of them are like doing okay, that's the most fun the show is for me.
And so Serena opts out of the soiree, and Jenny is blonde and flighty.
She's tall and blonde enough that it'll work.
So we continue, really, it's not even begin. We continue this sort of
the miseducation of Jenny Humphrey.
So I remember getting a specific kick, and honestly, points. I love when writers actually know what it is they're writing, because she offers Jenny a martini, and Jenny says, "No thanks, I don't like vodka." And Blair backhands her, like clean across.
Oh, good thing these ones are gin.
Like it's supposed to be, which, first of all, is true. Second of all, why I know that. Martinis are gin. Americans started doing vodka martinis because we're weak. I love vodka. I'm a vodka drinker. I order, and you'll notice anytime I ever order a martini, I specify vodka martini. And
also gin martinis are with a twist, not an olive. That would be disgusting. No, disgusting.
I like the little things like that. So they tete-a-tete, and
they start playing truth or dare when Jenny does a truth, and then they like make her do a dare, and then they like decide to break Erik out of
they go jailbreak Erik
facility. I think especially because Lily like forced him to stay. She's tough at the beginning.
But we kind of had this conversation already, but it's the sort of thing where it's like, I don't know exactly what I think she should do. I just know it's frequently not what she's doing.
Well, especially because in this one, she's like,
because it's private. You don't want to advertise it, but then you can't.
Yeah, it is private and you don't want to advertise it, but at the same time, like, Erik is sitting there in his room with his bags packed to come home for the weekend only. Like, he's willing to go back if he can go home for the weekend. And she just is like,
well, the doctor... No. The doctor is giving her... You think
the doctor said he could go home, not that he should go home. That is a mom not wanting to deal with it answer.
Well, so my issue is that when he goes missing... You know, I think Rufus very impressively is like, he's with my son and your daughter. Yeah. I trust them. Do you not? Like,
this is like the pinnacle of Rufus's parenting. And I'll tell you, it's only because his wife was with another man.
He was spread too thin, so he had to nut up somewhere.
So the kids are fine. I'm not worried about it.
But on top of that, though, he then, because he kind of... He puts Lily in her place, but then immediately checks on them and handles the situation.
She also warps across the city to get to his place so fast.
I mean, a good 45 minutes passes.
Sure.
Like, by the time you get people on the phone and all of that. But yeah, because there's the point where, you know, Lily is trying to get him to meet her level of crisis, but she's not giving him all of the information.
Mm-hmm.
And once she does, everything becomes more clear and evens out.
Yeah.
So again, I don't exactly know what I think she should do. I just think it's frequently not what she is doing.
Yeah.
And I think
I generally agree with that.
I think Kelly Rutherford brings a lot of, her and Serena, Blake are very, very well cast.
Yeah.
It's
and they're well suited to playing mother and daughter.
It's not quite a metronomic Lily Reinhart situation.
No,
I think they're a little bit more.
Yeah.
But she just sort of the Vanderwoodson women are they're enigmas wrapped in a mirage.
Yeah. Because also the thing that I like the best is that Lily's mother is played by the woman who played Spike's mother on
I forgot.
On
She's
Buffy,
so good.
and she's amazing.
I forgot.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Because doesn't she have issues with both
with
Rufus and Dan?
Yeah, but she also, I mean, it's like her relationship with Lily is the same as Lily's relationship with Serena, except for like backwards almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It could only be better if it was Blythe Danner.
My God, that would be amazing.
I forgot that Blair referred to Jenny's makeover as a renovation, which is just
a little rude.
It's meaner.
It is meaner.
It implies structural.
Yeah, it implies plastic surgery renovation to me.
Blair, and again, this was one of the things that I actually love so much, or remember loving so much, and I'm excited to revisit with Gossip Girl. Is yes, the relationships of the immediate peers, but also how that fractures through the world, because it's like Blair and Erik have a relationship where it's like, on one hand, they'll scoff and roll their eyes at each other, but on the other hand, she's there to rescue him when no one else is. You know what I mean?
Her rescuing him is hilarious. And what you just said also, it kicks into like the finale of this season, of season 1, which is like when we were first so impressed by the show, where it's just like, no matter what's going on, no matter who's on the outs, if something is really wrong, these like 6 people will rally around each other and be like, get the fuck out. Like, you can't be here.
Just got so excited. Erik's having a great time with the girls.
He just wanted a soft pretzel, man. He wanted to sit around and eat a soft pretzel and hang out outside of his room at the clinic.
Well, and I as we mentioned, light spoilers, but it is revealed that he is gay later, and the signs are there.
Yeah.
Going clubbing with the girls. Yeah. But there's that whole Blair making out with that just
stockbroker, skeevy stockbroker.
But I think something that's interesting about that is obviously they have a lot of power in the scene because they are presumably adult men.
Yeah.
But they're playing and peacocking just the same as these girls are.
Yeah.
But
they're dumber. Yeah. But they're way dumber.
To quote Jacob Clifton, teenage girls invented war.
Yeah. They're also terrifying.
Because Jenny ends up calling his girlfriend Amanda, and it's very the 2000s. Because that would probably still happen these days, but there would be way more solidarity between Amanda and
Blair.
Claire.
Yeah. No, 100%. Because you're right. Amanda is immediately like, you stupid bitch, and
you slut.
I'm just like, it's this man who did it. Like, what the fuck? Actually, it was Blair who did it. Like, he came up and was hitting on her, but then Blair walked across the room and kissed him. So,
No, he would have. I mean, he would have.
He would have.
Serena gives Blair a talking to. They're still in good terms, but it sort of.
Yeah.
It dissipates. Serena and Dan kiss.
Fine.
And
after they have a real Humphrey date, which is just him teaching her how to play pool.
Serena does a lot of
oh no, I missed.
Yeah, well, the fucking Teen Wolf bowling. You don't have to pretend to suck for his benefit.
Yeah.
I do plenty of sucking for his benefit.
Yeah.
Serena feigns ignorance in a lot of things to make him feel. Oh, and then, so you touched on it, but Rufus, basically, we're still dealing with the painting that Allison. Do we ever meet her?
Yes. Oh, yeah, she sucks. She's not as bad as Nate's mom, but she sucks pretty bad. I think we do.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
And he calls. There's another man there. There's a lot of like jumping to conclusions in ways that these people either are terrible for each other or perfectly suited for each other.
Yeah.
The jury's out.
But there are only those two options. There's nothing in between.
And so I do find it hilarious, just hilarious how this show like throws things together. But in particular, Rufus and Lily end up on a date where they're like making sauce, and I cannot believe
because she's like, well, I'm just gonna wait here, and no, I don't want any of your ditch water booze, but I am hungry, and so instead of ordering in from one of the thousands of restaurants that exist in New York City, they're like, let's sexily make pasta.
You know, there's
together.
a 3.5-star Chinese place literally on the bottom. Yeah.
And so it's just like, let's make pasta and salad in the kitchen all sexy. And then it's just, and then,
I can't believe that one of them doesn't spill sauce on their shirt and
have
take
to take it off. Yeah.
In time for the kids to walk in, you know, like, so it ends with Allison calling. And then, so the whole like him calling Allison and a man answering very sort of, what do you want? And I'm like, I'm kind of on Rufus's side where I'm like, who the hell are you? I've never answered someone else's phone that way. Like, but then to have Allison call him and have Lily pick up. Answer.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Because you know she's like this thing.
She's a thing in their relationship. But also the thing is that Allison was in the shower while this man was alone in her apartment. So it's clearly not just like a platonic thing. So that's, I mean, they are still married is the thing. And like Allison hasn't signed divorce papers. She left them and moved upstate, but she hasn't signed divorce papers.
So she's in the shower because they were making sauce and it spilled on her.
Amazing.
And then it ends with Blair. Blair goes hard sometimes.
Yeah.
She goes a little too hard, I might say. I'll say it. I'm not afraid.
No, she does.
Because she tricks Jenny in like when the police are involved, it's like that's too much.
Also, Jenny's a scholarship kid. She could easily get her scholarship taken away from her.
Yeah.
I think Jenny and Dan are both scholarship kids.
Although Jenny handles the fuck out of it.
It's awesome.
And I kind of wish that they had actually gotten Eleanor on the phone and she had gotten Blair in trouble with her mom. Yeah. Although that's already fraught enough.
Yeah, that's a relationship that doesn't need more drama.
But basically, Jenny talks her way out of it. Keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
And then steals the jacket. That's the best part, is that she takes the jacket.
Well, she does inform Blair. She's like, oh, also, I'm keeping the jacket. So, bye.
And Blair's not even mad. She's impressed.
She is.
So,
and then Jenny goes home because she's like, I don't need this anymore because I got this jacket.
Yeah. So, I think that's about it.
Yep.
That's that on that. So, okay. Well, we're going to watch the next episode and then we'll see you later.
Bye.
Where is she been, Serena? And who am I? That's not a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO. Gossip